A lot of birthdays today. You got the Muhammad Ali, 72. Betty White's still going strong at 92. Maury Povich is 75. We haven't talked to him in a while.
No. We reference him a lot.
Jim Carrey. Yuck.
Yeah.
You like Jim Carrey?
I used to.
Used to, right?
He's another one of those guys that his political ideology and just general nonsense has been one of those things that have just turned me off to his comedy.
But if he makes a good movie, can't you, like...
No, I can't get past it.
You can't blow that shit off anymher.
I can with a lot of people, and I do.
But not him.
But not him. He's one of those that fall into that category, like Michael Moore falls in, fucking that other asshole fucking with the big forehead on HBO.
Bill Maher?
Bill Maher.
No, Bill
Maher.
But Bill Maher was always an asshole no matter what.
But even Jon Stewart.
He's just a dick of a person, Bill Maher.
Jon Stewart's entered that whole realm, too, whereas his whole nonsense, white guilt, and political ideology has just turned me the fuck off to any funny thing he might actually say. Colbert rules compared to him.
I think so, too.
Colbert's great.
Jon Stewart turned into a goofball.
And Colbert's no more conservative or Republican or anything than Jon Stewart is. He's just as much a liberal as Jon Stewart.
He is, right? He's just playing a part on
But he plays that
Comedy
part,
Central.
and it's hilarious, and he's not this... He'll slip it in such a funny way, his liberal politics, that it's funny. Jon Stewart sits there like he actually knows all the facts. He's condescending to anyone with a different point of view. Like, oh, you're one of the people that think that way. There's an open debate about every person's ideology. No one knows everything or is right about everything. There's always an opposing argument. But he's one of those people that just likes to... oh, this asshole thinks this way. We all know the right way is what I'm saying. Fuck Jon Stewart.
Colbert is way funnier.
Yeah. It's because the way he handles it. The way he handles it. He's goofing on every kind of conservative, Republican, right-wing talk show, and it's hilarious.
So Carrie wants to take your guns?
Carrie hates guns.
Hates guns.
But again, another one of these Hollywood guys that have 24-hour protection and bodyguards to keep the scummy general public away and things like that. So he's telling you how best you should protect yourself and your family. Go fuck off. Another one of these tools. Him and that fucking other Weinstein cunt. He wants to make a movie now that's going to watch me crucify the NRA and stuff.
That's Roland's boy.
Fuck him, too. Fuck Roland.
Whoa!
All right, maybe not. The fact that he
Did you take him on when he was in here?
No, I didn't know about his fucking movie he wants to make that is going to be this mind-blowing dissection of the NRA, and it's going to, bash the NRA. Fuck him.
But isn't that's
do one on the NAACP and what cunts they are.
But that's what
fucking.
Whoa!
Well, he's.
I'm still hoping to get into a movie.
It ain't gonna happen. Let's all calm down about insulting people that are never gonna fucking help us.
I don't care about that. I think
I guess he's never helped us.
Nah, but
he just likes the fact that we talk about his movies, I guess.
But I don't mind the NRA getting it. I know you love the NRA, but I have such a hatred for them after
you know what, though?
I'm happy to see them catch a beating.
Here's why. They are just like every other organization that has to go 110% over what people think they should, because there's a constant barrage of anti-Second Amendment people in this country that need to be dealt with.
I hate them, too. I hate all the groups that do it.
All right.
NRA is just one group that I despise for their lack of reasonableness. And the same, I don't despise the NAACP, but they really irritate me. And all these other groups fucking irritate me.
All these other groups. You know what the NAACP does the other day? They fucking put out a tweet that says, well, Apple is going to have discussions about more diversity on their board of directors. A lot more work needs to be done. So I looked up the NAACP's board of directors. Right. It's all fucking black people.
So they should start with...
what about your own fucking house?
In your own boardroom, you should start with diversity.
Diverse. Why the fuck is diversity so good to business?
You should set an example.
Exactly.
Within your own organization.
More hypocrites.
That drives me nuts.
Fuck them too.
The company has the right to bring anyone they want.
Anyone they want. You know who's best? The best person for the fucking job.
I always thought that.
Why is just the fact that there's people of different ethnic, sexual, whatever backgrounds, religious, why does that all of a sudden make it better? What is better about diversity than just having people of a single mindset or a unified front or just like Apple, if they decide their board of directors, they want fucking white people that went to a certain school that are of a certain mindset, why then bringing in just diversity for the sake of diversity? Not having people that are the best suited. Well, why is that good?
Well, you're certainly blowing off guys that are probably better for the job to make sure you...
Maybe you're not.
Hitting your diversity quota.
Your diversity quota. Of course, affirmative action has been nothing but a failure as far as promoting people that aren't qualified for certain positions based on nothing but sexual orientation, race, religious background, all that shit.
And I hate to play the House liberal, but that is what our country is built on.
What?
Giving to certain people based on their ethnic background and gender.
It's a terrible fucking...
But I'm saying that's what America has been built on. We built
you think?
On 100%.
Why is that? How do you figure that?
On one group...
one group that excelled
being
at the building of this country, maybe.
Maybe that's one group was treated better. And then
one group worked very hard. Everyone thinks that white Europeans came over to this country. All they did, here's the liberal take on what happened in history. White Europeans came over to this country, slaughtered all the wonderful fucking living beings that were over here, got somehow the natural land and God himself shined this light on white people and gave them privilege to and built everything for them and gave them this great thing where they're so much better than everybody. Do you realize what a fucking shithole this place was before white Europeans came over and actually through innovation, education, and hard work built this country that now wants to be claimed by everyone else?
Hard work, technically.
Hard work?
Let's be honest, a lot of the hard work wasn't really necessarily...
Do you understand the small percentage of slaves that actually were owned in this country as opposed to the white people that actually came here and worked their own land and worked their own homesteads and ranches?
There was any percentage
I understand.
for that long a period of time.
There are atrocities from every nation and every people.
And I'm not saying that there's not. However, I care about here. Because here is where I live, and here is where I have to live by the laws, and here is where I have to hear... Well, here is where I have to hear my country preaching about American exceptionalism, and I'm fine with that, but let's not cut out the American phoniness, too. It makes me sick, because the same mentality as saying, well, we're a wonderful nation, and we treat everybody great, but treating one group of people and making every time a group wants their right, they have to fight for it. It's not given to them. We're the same group that goes out and fucking tells other people how to live. And that same hypocrisy is the same fucking nonsense that falls down on us as radio guys. You could say it, but you can't. So we've always done that here. So let's not act shocked when certain groups are getting certain privileges when the reality was we just don't remember the time. Where for the first 90% of the country, that's what it was.
But it didn't come out of nowhere. I hate hearing white privilege. White privilege was earned. It was earned by white people that excelled at many things in industry, in creativity, in hard work, and building an amazing nation like the United States. And then all of a sudden, it gets pawned off as this thing that was given to people. You can't express pride. You can't express the amazing accomplishments of white people without sounding like some fucking white supremacist in this day and age. You have to give the due to every other group that wants to grab on and claim some part of that exceptionalism.
Well, the bottom line is, I mean, the people who ran no one said that they were given anything. And I'm not crying about the American...
They are, Jimmy.
But I'm not. I only speak for me.
Okay.
I'm not saying it. I'm speaking for me. And the American Indians, I'm not crying about that. They were killing each other. The U.S. was won in a war, basically, or a hostile takeover. It is what it is. I mean, I still want to live here. But let's not pretend that there wasn't so much fucking bullshit in the ideology. And like when the group that is dominant says we're the only ones who can vote, and come on, man, there is such an ugly, fucking despicable fraudulence in the morality of that. The guy, one time a caller called up and he was saying that they were brilliant at forming a government, and he was right. They really were brilliant. But there was a disgusting hypocrisy in the mentality of the people that lived here.
Is it a hypocrisy
way up until the 60s
to want the people that worked hard, that earned something, to be the ones that reap the reward? Is that...
Yes, when you say... When you come out and you go, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and and all, and all, your whole thing is how all men are created equal. We actually had the fucking gall to say that as a nation, the gall. And then fucking soldiers who would go and fight for America would come back and be treated like dog shit.
Look, I understand.
There's no writing that off.
I understand the fucking racism that was very prevalent in this country. When I watched the Tuskegee Airmen documentary, and you saw these guys that were heroes flying against the Germans and winning, and then they get off the ship that came into New York, and there was a guy standing there who's pointing one way and going, no, niggers that way.
Right.
And pointing that is deplorable, but despicable.
Hold on. The point, though, we've come a long way since then.
Exactly. So that's my point.
But the point today is it acceptable to force companies to have diversity on their boards?
I don't think it's a good thing all.
It seems like the doors are now wide open for everybody.
Yes, let's just go on our merit.
Why do we have to still do things like that? That's the question.
Be promoted or demoted based on your merits or lack thereof. Right. This affirmative action,
to strong arm a company,
needing diversity,
and to tell them that they don't have enough, I would assume, black people on their board, and we're going to keep a close eye on them. That sounds crazy.
When you hear things like, "Oh, what is it supposed to be? A bunch of old white men?" It's like, what became so bad about old white men? Why does that symbolize this?
Hold on. But Apple has proven that old white men on their board, if that's what it is, it's probably more middle-aged white men, I would assume, has done very well for their business. So why should they change their business model because the NAACP is now pressuring them?
All the great years of this country that people wax fantastic about, all the accomplishments that this country has made that we talk about aren't being made anymore, and things like that, were done under the fucking guidance of these old white men. What the fuck? You know, maybe we can incorporate more people that were qualified, but ethnically didn't fit in. I understand that, but to force it is against everything that progress is based on.
But everything that's given in this country has to be you're almost making my point. Like, it's embarrassing to me that we are so big on claiming to be, and it is much different now than it was. Mm-hmm. Everyone's had to fight for it.
Right.
The land of the liberty and the home of the the women had to fight for their right to vote. Blacks had to fight. Fucking now gays have to.
Right.
Why in this great nation, conceptualized by these wonderful forefathers, why does every fucking group except the forefathers have to fight for what was supposed to be God-given? They say it's an inalienable right to own guns.
Right.
So how come everyone has to fight for that right?
It's always a fight in a democracy.
But why?
I don't know why.
That's what bothers me.
I think because whatever group there is will always want to be on top of the heap.
So if blacks or any group, I hate the fucking quotas because, like you said, if Apple builds their company, why do you have... So if they're fighting and strong-arming to try to get more of what was denied for many, many years, and it's hard for me to argue this point because I know that the fucking diversity is irritating.
Yeah.
But, like, how are they being dicks by saying for many years... It's not like it's been even all along, and then this group is coming in going, we would like more
But we
of this.
don't have to make up for lost time. That's this misconception that because things were terrible, now we have to go way the other way to balance it out. And then what? Then we come back to the center and everything's hunky-dory? I don't see it that way.
And shouldn't Apple just tell NAACP that, mind your own business? This is our company and we'll run it the way we want?
Oh, good luck with that. Good luck with telling the NAACP, mind your own business.
Well,
I know. I understand. I agree.
But they're going to run scared now because of what the NAACP is saying?
Per usual. Yes, my friend.
I think that's ridiculous.
I think it is, too. I don't like any type of...
we lost a guy. He works for the fire department. He's so frustrated that they have to hire women to hire women.
The fire department is one of those...
And obviously, that's a big issue that's been going on for years. They had to lower all the standards and the testing just so the women can be firemen.
Sorry, I want a big burly guy that's going to fucking come through a door, run up some stairs with a big pack on and everything, and get people to safety. Just for the sake of having diversity and having women on board, you're putting lives in danger. You're defeating the purpose of the job itself.
The only thing I would say about that is if they were lowering the standards to a point where it still didn't matter, then I would maybe understand a little bit.
I don't think in firefighting you should lower the standards at all. I think they should all be roided out fucking maniacs on the fire department. I think it should be mandatory that you have to fucking do roids.
Well, if this hadn't...
But to lower the standards in the testing...
Crazy.
Just so you can get a little diversity in the fire department.
Purpose.
It's crazy to me.
Defeats the whole purpose.
If they had hired... And this, again, the fire department and stuff, but they didn't hire fairly for many years. I'm not saying the fire department, but I mean as a country. If we had just done that shit all along... and practice what we said we were built on.
But here's
we
Jimmy,
wouldn't have this nonsense.
Here's how it started, though. There weren't people clamoring to be firemen. These guys were white Irish guys whose families were firemen.
Very fraternal.
There wasn't a line of women and black guys and Hispanics banging down the old firehouse door to get in. These were the only guys that were taking the job.
I'm not saying I even said not with firefighters. The fucking problem that has happened is we have built this system the way we built it. Not we, you and I, but it's the way it is.
I did.
And now we are paying for that. If people had just been hired based on merit and everyone had been kind of given the fair shot, at least to a certain degree all along, we wouldn't be dealing with this shit.
You are
now.
Henry Hindsight, though. It's like I think every problem that you see today, you're basing on the fact that we're making up for something that was done instead of getting the fuck and moving past things.
Because not making up for it is a lot of the reason things are awful now is because they were that way. And when you start that fucking ball in motion, it's not like when you say something or when one law is passed, all the results of that shit just cut off.
I understand.
So it's like a living, breathing, moving thing. So then you try to...
But you see progress in things like civil rights and whatnot. The progress has been amazing. I mean, we have a half-black president. It's astounding. But why aren't we seeing the fruits of that? Of the way the civil rights fight has gone over the past year. We're not seeing as big a result as I think we should be seeing.
Can I throw something a little strange into the equation? Ooh. Why doesn't this happen in sports?
What do you mean?
Basketball, most...
Yeah, exactly.
So many more...
Because the best people for the job are the people that are playing.
So many more black people play in the NBA than white. Let's go with hockey. There's literally...
Tell us why, Jimmy the Greek.
Literally in hockey, I think there's 2, maybe 3 black players. So it is ridiculously low. Why doesn't it happen in sports? Why don't they demand, that there's more diversity in the NBA and the NHL?
Right. Because and it is a prime example.
What would be the answer to that?
They had to demand it. That's how the blacks started to play. They had to demand it. It was one way for a long time. There was a Negro League, and then they had to demand.
You weren't getting the best people for that job.
Right, now
That's what you are. Now you are.
Yes.
And to get this influx of short white people on the court just because you want diversity doesn't make sense because they're not going to do the job as well as who is getting the job. Why?
But why is it okay with
Why
sports?
is that okay with a corporation or a farm or anything you want to do? Why do we need diversity for nothing more than the sake of diversity?
The only thing I can think of, because I've never once heard a black complain about hockey. Like, black people don't complain. Why are there no blacks? Because they look at it, they go, no, most of the black people don't play hockey. Why is there no diversity?
I think it's a geographical thing, but
probably, yeah.
I'm sure there's a bunch of black people playing hockey.
But I mean, they're not complaining about the NHL. I don't hear black
Right.
people protest the NHL.
Right.
I'm guessing because we watch sports, and I think we don't watch company hiring processes. Sports, you basically watch from college on up. And you're watching the best people play, and you see the process people are going through as the best. So it's like you're watching it happen. So if
you're a shareholder, you want the best people for the job.
Hold on. But sports isn't going to affect you personally like a fireman.
True.
You have a fire in your fucking house, and there's a woman that might not be able to get the job done because she can't carry as much shit as a man. That affects you personally.
That affects your life. That's exactly. Now, why isn't there more outrage from people saying, no, we don't want diversity as far as that goes because it's endangering people. And people don't make a peep because they're afraid of being labeled, misogynistic, racist, whatever, homophobic. It's all those things, the labels that you'll get on you for bringing up legitimate concerns.
Yeah, and
that's where we live now.
And I don't disagree with that. Like, I don't want to see some fucking 120-pound woman just because she's black or because she's Asian.
Travis?
Or Sam, yeah. I don't want to see that, but it's like, we are just, you have to acknowledge, man, we're paying for the fucking shitty lie that we told for a long time.
I'm pretty tired of paying. Because you know what? I didn't take any. I wasn't there for the taking of the fucking, you know, my work wasn't ever done by slaves.
I know that.
I had to do it myself, all that. So why the fuck do I still have to pay?
I'm not saying, you know, but that's why.
Somebody needs to
at this point, it's stupid.
Right. Someone needs to speak up and say that at this point it's stupid. We got to move along. Ted Nugent is in fucking Dutch for some article he wrote about, he saw that video of that young black child cursing and just saying horrible things and being egged on by adults. The kid's fucking, 2? Oh. And saying, yeah, fuck you,
that video
fucking bitch, fuck all that shit. And they're laughing and videoing it. So Ted Nugent said this is this thug rat mentality that's permeating the community. It's just keeping this. It's perpetuating this fucking behavior and everything. And instead of going, wow, maybe we should, you know, look at that or think about it, they are calling Ted Ted being a racist again. You can't address these issues. How are they supposed to get better if the second you speak about it, you're a racist?
Because Ted Nugent is and greatly so, not afraid of being the criticism. He doesn't give a fuck.
I know. Good.
But so what you're supposed to do,
a lot of people are petrified.
Fuck them. What he's doing is what you should do.
Yeah.
He's saying what he wants to say, and he doesn't care who the group.
Ted knows he's not going to lose income doing it, though. Right. A lot of people will lose income, so they're afraid. It's an extortion tactic. It's blackmail. You work, you make a living, you say this, and we'll take all that away from you. How is that any type of freedom of speech, expression? We're in dangerous times.
When the rest of us stand up, it doesn't happen. Like with Duck Dynasty, they booted him, and then the people stood up and said something on Facebook, and he was unbooted.
Exactly. So that should be a lesson.
That should be a lesson.
That guy's untouchable.
I know.
Should be
Duck Dynasty guy is untouchable right now.
Amazing.
What was it, like 17 million people that fucking pushed back?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Fucking realize,
yeah.
That was great to see, too, because that's what we need from people. If you like something, you got to fight for it. You know, don't just let, the corporations knock out
interest
something
groups,
you like.
Fucking anybody. Have some balls and have some commitment in what you're saying and what you believe in to voice it. Just fucking say it. Everyone's petrified of a label or fucking just don't give a shit. Say it. They've diluted the word racist, by the way, to the point of you criticize a black person and you're a racist? How about we put you in a fucking time machine, send you back a few decades, and you'll see what a real racist is.
How about this? You can't even call Precious fat.
Precious is a disgusting fat pig.
She's beautiful.
That should not be looked at like it's okay. It's just as detrimental to these young girls' body image to say she's beautiful and accept her as it is to look at an anorexic.
You can't tell women it's okay to get as big as Precious. Precious is, I don't even know her real name. I don't
ticking
even give a
fat
fuck.
bomb.
She's what, 20 years old maybe?
Yes.
And she's got things hanging from her elbow.
Holiday hams.
She's way too fucking big.
Yeah. But
that's not healthy. And to just say,
oh, she's beautiful,
is giving the wrong impression to other little girls out there.
You see these fucking shows where they criticize people's clothing and whatnot on award shows and stuff.
Sure.
And she steps up and they're like, she looks so stunning in this gown. It's like, you're lying.
She's wearing a tent to the Golden Globes.
Disaster.
You liar.
And
she's got weird fucking shit growing from her elbows.
And they're the same people that criticize the models. Oh, there's a body type people just can't have, and it's unhealthy to show girls this because they want to have that. Look, then you tell them that that's beautiful and you have to accept it. And if you criticize it, you're an asshole.
If she was in the category of just a big girl, whatever. But she is morbidly obese.
Morbidly obese.
She's morbidly obese. Indeed. We're not talking about a girl that's a little big and she's, has a different body shape. She's fucking huge.
Well, don't fucking criticize her. And she's only going to get
bigger because she's got youth on her side right now.
Oh, yeah.
You get rid of that youth a little bit and, man, you really pack on the pounds.
Her face is giant. She has a giant face.
But some people criticized her, and they went after.
Oh, yeah.
They go after you if you criticize her.
She's beautiful. Shut the fuck up.
And she's telling the critics she feels beautiful and all that. All right, fine.
Oh, good.
But
however you feel. You're as delusional as an anorexic looking in a mirror and saying, oh, I need to lose a few more pounds. Just as delusional saying, I look good. No, you don't. You look unhealthy and fat.
So
isn't that disgusting hypocrisy?
It is.
Uncomfortable and irritating.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's lies. It's such blatant lying because you know damn well they're looking saying, no, she's not beautiful. She's disturbing looking.
They're probably making jokes as soon as she left their position on the red carpet.
Again, you can't.
Out of here.
Just honesty is dead.
Right.
Fucking honesty's dead.
Listen, the thing that bothers me the most is the black rap bands and fucking rap and all the fucking white kids buying their albums and shit because they think it sounds neat and nifty, and they go to dance clubs and they dance and fucking say fucking X and shit like that. They dance to this rap shit. And listen, the rap bands, the majority of them, the hardcore motherfuckers, are pissing all over you white culture. They don't fucking want your fucking culture at all. They fucking dog out every white person that was ever born, and they don't know any of us. Do you understand that? In the United States where we live, the black people walk around with t-shirts and shit that say it's a black day. You wouldn't understand. And my favorite one of all is stop black on black crime. You know what that means? That means stop black people from killing each other. What does that say to you? That means it's okay to kill white people, doesn't it? That's what it means to me. It don't say stop fucking crime. It says stop black on black crime. It's okay to kill a white motherfucker, no problem. Well, look, let me tell you what. If you walked around with a fucking t-shirt on that said white pride, you would be racist. You would be a piece of shit, motherfucking racist, and you couldn't deal with it. From here on this point out, all you white kids out there, let me tell you something that no other motherfucking man, white man in the world has any guts to say. Let me say it right now. When you wake up in the motherfucking morning and you look at yourself in the goddamn mirror, look, hey, have all the fucking pride in your heart.